This is the story of the super force of space explorers. More than me.
Welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Loki, and this is the Weekend Review with Dave, Bob, and Starry-Eyed Girl. Good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Howdy.
It's Friday. Sometimes I wish you guys could see me on camera because I'm like back here with the intro going. I'm like, yeah. Da, 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 da.
I always get right fired up and I'm like,
oh my God. It is so good to see everyone today. Good morning. It's Friday, y'all. This is the end of the week. I'm so happy it's going to be the end for the week. Ryan, Roger, Ape, what a week. It has flown by. Dean Krantz, DJ Ronnie G, good morning. Mark the Amply Tire Project Storytime, and Chris Persia, the Wrench of Wrenches. Round out the Wrenches of Ragnarok. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you this morning? Keely Chow, Roll Tide. Keely, Roll Tide. Snorted Poopus Cuber is my favorite polar bear on YouTube. Good morning, Snorts. How are you doing? The Mad Doctor of Disaster and Destruction. A Dig Outlaw, who me and him had such a good show last night. It was absolutely awesome. Kendra L, good morning. Happy Friday to you, Kendra. Good morning. DJ Ronnie G, good morning. How are you doing, brother? Darius Munchausen, good morning. It's so good to see you. Gary Banjo Sandwich Worthington, what a mouthful. Better Call Saul was fire this week. It was fire last week, too. Every episode of Better Call Saul has been badass. And you want to know how you write a strong, independent, kick-ass whammon? It's Kim Wexler. Good morning, everyone. Brandon Looney Tunes fan 2000. Good morning. How are you? What's your favorite Looney Tunes fan? Brandon, Looney Tunes fan. Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys have had a great week. Ryan, Roger, Ape, good morning. Psychodorp 9. How are you doing? Decepticons, Gabe of Villains, good morning. Gap Stargate, how are you doing, brother? Good morning, everyone. Pops, Claude Sailing, good morning. Guys, I hope you all have had a great week. It has been a crazy week getting back from ICC Con, all the stuff going on. I am putting together the Star Trek haul that I brought back, which was huge. Oh my God, I've got so much stuff. I got the Enterprise D bridge playset from Playmates with the functioning bridge and the view screen and red alert and all the cool sounds that you can do. Still sealed in the box, but it won't be for long.
We want a video, Loki. We want a video to start at every angle.
To the Star Trek music. Dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun. Oh, space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Enterprise D playset, which I'm going to use to make videos. I'll have the little crew members. Well, shut up, Wesley. I heard you're in the new episode of Picard and it sucks. It absolutely sucks. So shut up, Wesley. I don't want to talk.
Doctor.
He's the new doctor. God, I saw that Starry. So guys, Starry posted 14th Doctor, and I'm like, oh God, no. We're part of the Time Protective Initiative. We travel through time to protect the timeline.
Yeah.
Oh.
I messed up one time and I messed up 100 years of history.
Masters of Time and Space. Wesley Crusher. Oh my God.
Shut up, Wesley.
Oh no, this is sorry. Master Skins. I'm like, she can't like say the sentence like honestly without cracking up. Masters of Time and Space. Oh my God. Gary Banner's Sandwich Worthington says Amber is the new Dr. Pooh. No.
Oh.
Amber makes the Dalek look like a victim.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, that alone was that yeah. We're master. We keep the tapestry intact. Last time I told a joke, it screwed up 100 years of history. Shut up, Wesley.
Yeah.
Shut up, Wesley. Oh God, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But then again, you know what? It's Paramount. So after 2 seasons of Picard, 4 seasons of Discovery, and a season almost complete of Halo, I believe anything.
And what we have coming up with Lord with the Rings of Power, gosh.
Yeah, I'm full of dread for that. It's going to be diabolical, especially now it's all done. It's all in the can. They can't do reshoots. It's too late.
You want to talk about sheer fucking hubris? We're going to write the book that J.R.R. Tolkien never could. Not that he didn't write, but that he couldn't write. You want to talk about sheer fucking hubris? That's it. We're going to write the book he couldn't write.
They were only brave enough to do it once his son had passed away. So there was no barriers to the estate.
LGBTQ orcs. I'm sure.
Oh, you got to throw a plus in there, though.
Plus, minus, hashtag.
Yeah.
Pound.
Honestly, it's just got to where I dread any announcements coming out anymore because while we may be winning on certain fronts, it's still going on. They're 2 years behind the trend.
Yeah.
What with Star Trek? I was reading something. Actually, this morning when I got up, I was reading that Star Trek Discovery's problems is that they didn't try and do anything unusual. That TNG was so successful because it had daring writers that were trying to do something new and dangerous. And I don't think that's right. I think Yeah, I now understand they were getting a lot of scripts from fans for
Oh, yeah.
TNG. Melissa Snodgrass, the woman who wrote the episode where they want to take Data apart.
Yes. Oh, God.
Measure of a Man. Measure of a Man. That was sent in by a fan, and she eventually became a writer for Star Trek because she had some really, really good scripts because she knew Star Trek. I think the problem is these people don't know Star Trek. They don't care about Star Trek. They don't care about the lore. They don't care about canon. They don't care about consistency. They don't care about anything that came before it. They just care about what they're writing, and they used that. They used a lot of stuff from Voyage Home in this last season of Picard. They used music and marks from First Contact. And as I said yesterday on Rambling Canucks show, it's almost like they took Voyage Home, First Contact, and tried to meld it and make their own thing out of it. That is not respecting the canon, respecting the lore, and loving what you are working on. All that is well, we're going to borrow here and there, and we're going to try and make something out of it.
Oh, yeah. That and the Strange New Worlds. I can't begin to tell you how vomit-inducing that thing was.
It's really bad. We can't get it over here, Dave Bob, yet. I think we're 2 months behind. So it might be a good thing.
I'll tell you, you're gonna be glad you didn't watch it because they have tech that is probably 300 to 500 years ahead of what's in Next Generation on this show, and they're introducing characters that were never on the bridge of the Enterprise in that timeline. It's terrible.
Arwen Avalon says it's regurgitating what's already gone before it.
Yep.
Yeah. But this is the simplest things. Just get the timeline right. It really isn't that difficult. We're getting the same thing with Doctor Who, but there's an established timeline through all the shows, the films, the novels, everything. All somebody's got to do is just work out. But obviously, that takes time and effort. I mean, employ Star Trek fans. We do this for fun, It baffles me that just something so simple as the tech.
Shellback TJC with a $5 super chat. Okay, fine. Dave Bob. LGBTQIAA plus. Happy now? You crazy cock-a-doodle-doo.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Shellback TJC. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla. And this one is just for you. We're going to throw you $1. Skull!
$1? I've never seen $1. Nobody's got $1. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's $1 bill.
Take your hat off, boy. That's $1 bill. Dean
That
Krantz
thing
says
never gets old.
Dean Krantz says one of the few episodes of JAG I watched concerned one of the characters writing Star Trek fanfic while in recovery from wounds received in combat. God, I can't remember his name. He was Harm's like assistant for a while and eventually became a lawyer himself. I know Bud. His name was Bud. A primetime show referencing fanfic. Absolutely. And a lot of the episodes that were sent in were by people that loved it. And what does that say about current day Star Trek when you had people sending in scripts that were essentially kind of like fan fiction, but they loved the genre so much that the heads over at CBS were like, no, we're going to put it in the show. We're going to make this episode. And it was so good that they did that compared to, you've got an entire writing room of women from the Gilmore Girls writing team in your offices, and they're too busy scissoring to care about modern day Star Trek.
Yeah,
And I saw that chuckle, Starry. I saw it. You're like, scissoring hands. Scissoring hands.
They're
Yes.
all in the hallway crying and telling each other about all their troubles, and it bleeds over into their writing.
Project Storytime says hashtag Starry Eyed Girl for the 14th Doctor.
Oh, bless you, Josh, but no, wrong gender. That is a hill I will die on. But yeah, I mean, these women, all the writers, they're just brought in because they're either diversity hires or they're activists. That is the only qualifications. They're just there to insert whatever they want to put in, whatever, corresponds to what Kurtzman and Goldsman thinks, they will put it in.
Well, original Trek used allegories and things, to define, certain aspects of society. And today they just jam it in your face. It's straight out of the headlines. I mean, I can't even describe what I saw on Strange New Worlds. You wouldn't want to see it.
Mansquatch says, hey, Loki, on Strange New Worlds, I learned I can figure out how to make an engine by looking through a telescope at a ship 1 light year away. Somehow.
Yep.
Really? Oh.
Jam the clams, save the empire. Yes, Shellback TJC. Jam the clams, save the empire.
I have no words. It's just, I was prepared to give Strange New Worlds a go because I loved Anson Mount and I thought he was like the one redeeming thing from Discovery. But, it's still the same writers. It's still the same stupid.
Yeah.
Don't understand technology.
Well, heck, they can't even give a press briefing. So many outlets were talking about, well, Kirk's going to be on Strange New Worlds. Lieutenant Commander Kirk is going to be on Strange New Worlds. It's going to be before he's a captain. Him and Spock are going to have a relationship. Yada 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 yada. And then it's not apparently Jim Kirk. It's
his brother. It's his brother.
Okay.
The one
so
that
they
died.
can't even.
The one that died on that planet with all the little alien spores flying around.
So they can't even explain in a press briefing who their character actually is. They are just pushing this narrative that Kirk and Spock are going to get together and be a couple, and that's part of the new canon. But it's Sam Kirk. It's not Jim Kirk. So. It's disappointing. It's disappointing. And you guys they want to throw this out there and be like, look at us. We're so smart, but it's a bait and switch. And Disney's done the same thing. I won't get too much into WandaVision and the Multiverse of Madness because it's not a Doctor Strange movie. It's a Wanda movie. But because we're going to talk about that later tonight on The Late Show. Bait and switch movie. It's not really about Strange. There's some Strange stuff in it, but it's not really about Strange. It's about Wanda. This whole movie's about Wanda. So, like I said, no spoilers. I'm not going to get into that. We'll talk about that later tonight. But yeah, it's a Wanda movie. And they've done that before. The Loki series was not a Loki series. It was it was the Enchantress. Mm-hmm. It was an Enchantress movie or series. Same with Hawkeye. Same with Moon Knight. It's all bait and switch. They're going to name it one thing and they're going to give you something else because that something else cannot thrive on its own. The lesson they learned was, guess what? Having a Black Widow movie won't work because it's called Black Widow. So we're going to name the Wanda movie Doctor Strange 2. That way people will come see it.
Well, the reason Black Widow movie didn't make it was because she was dead. I mean,
it was
they were like five years too late.
Mm-hmm.
And Dean Krantz, speaking as someone that has a love of history and science fiction, governments do not reference things that happened more than 100 years ago. I doubt the writers of Fail Trek know things from 50 years ago. Yeah, they just don't. They don't pay any attention to it.
Not only that, Loki, they know better.
They know better.
Hmm.
They know better. We're right, and everybody else is wrong. Starry, what would you do if you had the opportunity? And I'll ask you the same question, Dave Bob. If you had the opportunity to fix Star Trek right now, how would you do it?
Well,
go
ahead.
You go suck all the writers. I will try and get somebody who likes Star Trek, somebody talented. There's so many talented writers out there that are scrambling just to try and get on the rung of the ladder, and just because their politics don't fit the bill, I'd just be looking for talent. That's you've got nothing without good writers, and if you need, admit you need help. If you need a continuity expert, get somebody to do continuity. If you need somebody to reference previous canon, you want kind of like a Star Trek scholar. Then you'll get Tolkien scholars that know the books inside out. They know the lore. They even know the languages. And that you get there's people fluent in Klingon. This is a huge fan base. And there's so much love for it. It's not. I don't believe it's that difficult to find people that know what they're doing. It's just admitting that I found myself in this position where I've got to produce a show. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm going to need help, and that it's all ego. So that's what I'd do. I'd be more humble and just accept that if I'm going to make something worth watching, I need to build this team that knows what they're talking about. And I would, there wouldn't be a barrier to fans. I would take on board the criticism. I'd just take on board everything. Otherwise, how do you learn? I really do think it's just that simple. What do you think, Dave?
Well, honestly, the first thing I'd do right out of the bat was fire every damn one of them sons of bitches in that writer's room, because they absolutely know nothing about Trek. Then you have to find people that are knowledgeable, that know the lore, that know what's going on. You don't have to be an expert to write good Star Trek, but you do have to have people in there that are passionate about it and know what they're talking about. You can't come up with sonar in space and all this other bullshit. I mean, even the science is wrong in all this stuff. The science is just crap. And in the original Star Trek, it was all, feasible. Everything that happened, while it may be far out there, and I know transporters will never be a thing because, that's just not going to be there. But the science is there. They at least have a background in it. And they have to find somebody that, like you said, continuity. You got to be able to, go with what's happened before and everything else. But honestly, at this point, unless you just throw out all the last 5 years of Star Trek, there's no way you can save it, because all that being in canon now is just totally destroyed it. I mean, Spock having a sister, Klingorks and all the crap that they put in there.
I have a question. I have a question for Starry from a Dig Outlaw. Can you say drop ship just once so you don't have flashbacks and get PTSD? But he requests you to say drop ship.
Drop ship. You're so mean to me, Dave. But another thing I would do just before we move on is a lot of these problems have been caused because there've been prequels. I would move it far on. I would be after Voyager, go into the future, and then it doesn't matter. you can have, you've got the effects. You can do what technology you want because you haven't got the constraints then. Oh, we can't do that because this wasn't invented or this wasn't. You can have so much more freedom, and that's what they should have done in the first place with Discoveries. I mean, we all know why it was a prequel because they wanted to retcon the past, But yeah, prequels always come with constraints. So yeah, bring it into the future. But like Dave Bob was saying, there needs to be a big gap. Let people forget about this crap fest and then, try again, maybe 5 years or so. If there's a, fan base left, it's exactly the same with Doctor Who.
We had a couple of comments that I want to point out that all centered around bringing in Robert Meyer Burnett to be like the creative consultant. Like anything you guys want to do Trek wise, you need to go through him, because if anybody knows canon, if anybody knows what not to do, it's going to be him. So story wise, script wise, science wise, anything you're looking at, spore drive, no, we're gonna make a mushroom drive, no. But we're gonna go back in time, see Chateau, but no. But Picard gets to see his mother swinging from the chandelier, no. And yes, you do see Picard's mother swinging from a chandelier.
Yes, I've heard.
And it is this is mind-boggling how they justified doing this. I said this yesterday on Rambling Canucks show when we were reviewing this. As a fan fiction writer of Star Trek, which I led an RP community for 5 years. 5 years. Every Sunday, we did a show, basically a Star Trek show. And there were a couple of simple rules. Number one, no like crazy magic. Yeah, there was some magic in TOS with the witch, but it was all technology based, and whatever, that's fine. You can fudge around with that, but no magic. Q's a god, that's a totally different scenario. But you can't be a god. You cannot play as a character from any of the shows. Why? Because you cannot assume you know how to define their core character. So whereas you might get like this is Admiral Janeway, you're going to go on a mission. Whatever, that's fine. The GM can do something like that. But you cannot do anything to alter the core dynamics of a character from Star Trek. Why in a fan-related setting would you lay down a role like that? Because we are not capable of defining those core characters. And that is exactly what they've done in Picard. They have changed Picard's core character by inserting this nonsense in the show.
Every character that is in that from the original series is changed. I mean, fundamentally changed. 7. All of them.
Mm-hmm.
They are not the characters that we knew in the shows we watched them in. Why do you think that is? Because you've got a group of writers that care more about sitting around scissoring and jamming clams than you do about actually writing and learning. They haven't watched it, and it's blatantly obvious. Now, were there things they tried to do in this to be like, look, we know things. Oh my God, we've got the guy with the mohawk from Voyage Home, and he's going to be like, oh, I don't want to get nerve pinched again, so I'm going to turn my radio down. All that means is that you looked at a fucking flashcard of something and were like, oh wow, we could do something with that. You don't actually care about the content. And you act like, well, look, we got this handful of things right this time. But you got 100 things wrong because you just don't care. They just don't care. Psychodor of 9 with the $5 super chat. Loki, you're forgetting. The point isn't to entertain. The point currently is to ruin things people love. It's also to make you feel bad about being you. It's also to teach you how to be open and accepting. It's also about all this shit. And when they say, well, we're using this as a platform for this, guys, you're all you're doing is shitting on something great that could really be used to teach people to learn and accept. Nothing was more accepting and learning to accept than Jadzia Dax on Deep Space Nine. They can say, oh, well, we've got our first trans character ever on Star Trek. No, you had it back in Deep Space Nine. You just refused to accept they did it before you did, and they did it much better than you did.
Well, this is it. It's ignorance and completely needless, because Star Trek was diverse. I was going to say divisive. It is now. It was diverse from the very beginning. The point of the entire crew in TOS is showing, all the nations working together. You'd got a Russian, you'd got America working together, you'd got China, you'd got Uhura. And this was a big deal in the 60s. And I just really think that they need to just go back and learn some history. But again, that means putting in effort and, accepting that, actually, there's things I don't know because, I've only been on this earth for 20, 30 years. God forbid, there's stuff that's gone on that I don't know about. Psychotrope is absolutely right. It is just to preach. And it's completely empty gesture because it's all been done before. It was done in TOS, it was done in TNG, it was done in, DS9, you couldn't get more diverse than DS9. We got Cisco, we got Dax, and it was amazing, but it wasn't pushed down your throat. These were compelling characters and compelling stories, and it was mold breaking. And there's a reason why DS9 is like, the epitome of Star Trek for many people, because it was just compelling. And Discovery and Strange New Worlds and all the others just cannot hold a touch for it because it's forced and it's fake, and at the end of the day it's just completely shallow. Rant over.
And Project Cambrian nails it on the head here. It says it's like Star Trek with all its diversity and inclusion, including aliens, had already worked through all the old hang-ups so they could focus on the human adventure or something. Yeesh. Yes. Man Squatch, Old Trek, Cisco, father, captain, leader, punched you, best ship in the fleet, emissary, cook. New Trek, Mikey Spock. She's black. That's all we know about her.
She's not a character. She's just a placeholder.
That's right. NB Geek, let's talk with $10 super chat. Admit writers, this is not in the Rod canon. This is the Kurtz. By the way, who's second Civil War? Oh, and let's make sure we show a Trump flag. Second Civil War, eugenics. World War III are the same thing now. Oh my God, you had one job. That's right. That's right. Yes.
That's what I said. Shove it in your face.
Pat Steven Seagal, the $2 Canadian super chat. It's a platform, not a tool of entertainment.
And they don't even make any money with it.
No, they're losing money. MB Geek, let's talk with $5 super chat. You want to watch a show that respects canon? Cobra Kai. That is how you freaking do a freaking show. Honor legacy and integrate new characters.
Yep.
And start a gang war. Two dads, midlife crisis, hang up, start a gang war. Absolutely. Thank you guys so very much for your super chats. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla, and we're going to send you guys some Spartan Skull.
Oh.
Spartans! What is your profession?
All right,
I've got to admit, that's my favourite skull. I don't know why.
Spartans! A big shout out this morning to Mexican Iron Man. We love you, brother. Take care.
Take care, love.
And Dag Outlaw loves that one too. We've spent a lot of time talking about Star Trek, and it's I guess the conversation keeps coming back around because Star Trek holds a special place in a lot of our hearts, whether you watched the original when it was on TV, whether you watched it when it was in syndication, whether you fell in love with TNG, Deep Space Nine. I want to tell you something. I have never, I was always like the quiet kid. Yeah, I got rambunctious and I was kind of hyper sometimes, but I was the kind of kid that, didn't like bounce off the walls when something exciting happened. I mean, when I was like 2, yeah, we talk about the Ewok thing in the theater, you know, and me jumping up and down on the seat. Yeah! Woo, 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 woo. Because I was like, yeah, murder bears. Yes, murder bears. I was 2. Come on. But I remember grabbing my dad by the shirt watching Deep Space Nine when the Romulans decloaked and joined the fleet. They joined the Klingons and the Federation fleet. And I grabbed my dad by his shirt and I was like, it's happening! It's happening! The Organians were right! The Organians were right! Because back in TOS, the Organians told Kirk and they told the Klingons one day, you and another race, you and the Klingons and another race in Picard are going to come together to battle an unbeatable foe. You're going to make this great alliance one day. And I always remembered that. And I thought for a while that the Romulans were going to be that threat. And then, of course, we met the Dominion and they all came together. And I got so excited. I got more excited about Star Trek than I'd ever been excited about Star Trek. And the more that show went on and the more the Alpha Quadrant came together to face the Dominion, the more excited I got and the more into it I got. And that's why Deep Space Nine is my favorite. I love TNG. I think Voyager's, I'm not going to kick it while it's down. But because what's going on with 7, that's his kind of like kicking it while it's down. 7 and Rappy, yay. Enterprise was but I loved Deep Space Nine. So for me, Deep Space Nine is peak Star Trek. And it's hard to let all of that go. And I'm not going to let that go. I'm always going to love Deep Space Nine. There's going to be an announcement coming up soon because I'm going to be watching TOS, TNG, and Deep Space Nine. I'm going to be leaving commentary for it. That'll be in the Discord server. That is coming. I'm getting to it. I'm going to try and watch an episode a day and talk while I'm watching it and be like, oh, this and that. You can listen to it if you want to. Whatever, and get my thoughts on each episode. But Kirk stole the cloaking device. Yeah, Kirk and Spock took the cloak from the Romulans.
Yeah. What's going on
because the Klingons didn't have it.
Yeah. What's going on right now really is just hurtful to me because I started watching this when I was 9 years old, and my dad and I would always watch this, and it just hurts me fundamentally down to my core what they've done to this series.
And Psychodwarf 9 is right. Mr. Wolf, load a quantum torpedo and write "Don't F with the Cisco" on it. Yes! Yes!
But this is another thing that these hacks don't understand because they were never a fan of Star Trek. They don't get it. They don't get that. To them, it's just a little thing. It's a little thing that's, oh, this cloaking device sounds cool. You know, we'll move this and we'll move that and it'll look amazing. But what they're not thinking, or maybe they are and it is deliberate, I don't know. This people have been watching this and rewatching it for years and years and with the families. It's a generation thing. It's gone on that long. And this is why, fans take it so seriously. And, we do feel hurt you know, we're not exaggerating. We genuinely feel hurt because of these things that are being messed around with. But, you know, to these people, they're just characters. They're just names. These are just things. They're just plot points. Like, they're really not. Everything's got a history. Everything's got something behind it. And like you were saying, Loki, about, you know, how one speech in one episode can come back, you know, years later and become this like epic thing, you know, complete arc of the story over seasons. And it's just, yeah, they've just got no idea.
Man Squatch says, Loki, Michael J. Fox steals Christopher Lloyd's car and saves his own life. Captain Kirk steals Christopher Lloyd's car and saves the whole world. Give me Genesis! Most joy too. How many kids did that back in the day? They held up the, you know, they held like a speaking spell. Most joy too. Oh my God, the first Klingon words you start learning and you're like, they have a tape. They have a tape. Why? Because the guy who wrote that language for that movie was like, you know what? I'm going to write an entire language. We're not just going to make some words up and chimicha-choo-choo. No, we're going to write a whole language. And anytime we see Klingons from now on in Star Trek, they can use this language that we completely created just for them. Kapla, joy, true, you know? And then you've got this in Discovery. We are Klingons. I thought it's because the dancers that gave me the background. And you're just, oh no.
Because that's what I think. It's just silly words. No, it's not. It's its own thing. I did have a funny story a few years ago, but it was before the pandemic. There was a Star Trek concert at the Royal Albert Hall, and one of the offers that they did was if you rung up to buy tickets, and you could do the order in Klingon, in accurate, perfect Klingon, you got your ticket for free.
Yeah.
And
yeah, the works of Shakespeare have been published in Klingon. Yes, because it's the original. It's the original Klingon version.
Yeah.
See, okay, so this is the thing. You hear about that in Star Trek 6, right? And I don't know if either one of you know about this or not. But this is canon because Klingon Academy is canon. So I dare anyone to argue with me. Someone argued with me and it's like, oh my God, it's in a game. It's not real. No, it is, because this is the official prequel to Undiscovered Country. So the idea is that thousands of years ago, a Klingon crash landed on Earth and brought them Shakespeare. Shakespeare wasn't real. All the works of Shakespeare were brought to Earth by Klingons, by this Klingon that crash landed on Earth. And the reason why Kirk is such an outstanding warrior and has been able to beat Klingons in the past is because Kirk is a descendant of that Klingon. Kirk is the descendant of the Klingon that crash landed on Earth thousands of years ago. And that's the only explanation as to why he is such a fantastic warrior, is that he's part Klingon. And that was General Chang who said that. That was Christopher Plummer as General Chang that said that in Klingon Academy. And of course he like cracks up and, you know, it's like, okay, was he being serious or was he not? Was he telling a joke? Was he, of course, he's a Klingon. Those are those little things. You can look that up. Just look up Klingon Academy video. But yeah, that's the explanation of Shakespeare. Shakespeare being on Earth. He really never was, and he was an original Klingon. But that's what the Klingons believe. That's not what's actual fact. That's just what the Klingons believe. 1/4.
Don't be giving Kurtzman ideas. That'll probably come up in season 2.
God help us. But we care so much about it, and we get dragged through the mud. We get dragged through the mud because we care about it. We get put down because we care about it. They act like we're gatekeepers just because we want them to adhere to canon and to follow the rules that were established, which they don't want to follow because they don't want to have to watch previous Star Trek. Prime example of that is Guinan meeting Picard for the first time in 2024. That is not the first time she met Picard. She met Picard in the 1900s, or in the 1900s in San Francisco. It was Sam Clemens. They didn't do their homework. They don't do their homework, and they expect us to respect their stuff. I'm sorry, but no, you didn't even bother to look and see when Guinan actually met Picard, which was 1888. Project Storytime, right there. 1888. That's all they had to do.
Yeah.
But they act like they never met in Time Zero. They act like that never happened. And she even tells Picard in that episode, if you do not go on this mission, we will never meet. That simple.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't care.
Yeah, no, that's just a line from a previous thing. Why would that be important?
Yeah. Fundamental to the whole story, but that don't matter.
With Data and the soul-eating aliens with the snake cane, yes. The Viridians. God help me why I know that. I can't remember the name of a damn actor in the morning, but I can remember that the name of the snake-eating aliens were the Viridians.
That's just being a fan, Loki.
They're Viridians with a cane. 2 Viridians with a cane. Help a 49er. That old man, when that old man gets killed, I don't know why, but that like hit me when I was a kid. I was like, the old man, help out a 49er. Fell down a shaft. Spock going back in time changed things. I can only imagine.
I say, Brandon.
And you know what? If they had done that, I could kind of forgive some of this. And they should have, instead of telling everybody, no, this is the original timeline. This is the prime. They should have just said, no, this is in the exact same timeline as the JJ verse and all this other stuff. We completely started over. And instead, they've kind of rode the fence, one leg in, one leg out. So that way they can just say, well, we're doing this anyway. And we're doing this, and oh well, we can bring it back to this. I'm filling back up my drink. I'm sorry. I almost got some bourbon when I was like, oh my god, we're going to talk about the Star Trek. I'm running some bourbon this morning, but it's still too early. Been up for 2 hours now, and I'm like, no, it's still too early.
It's not here.
I can't watch Picard or any of that in the morning because I'll go to day drinking, and that's just not good. I can't do that. I'll end up with a sidekick named Harvey Cthulhu that I won't be able to get rid of. Yeah, no day drinking for Loki.
No.
It's not gonna happen.
No,
I'll open up my shows and be like, hello, how's everybody doing? Start singing the frog song in the morning. Fell down a shaft of euphemism. No, he actually said fell down a shaft. I'm an old 49er. Spare some change for a 49er. So, no watching Star Trek in the morning unless it's like good Star Trek. It's always 5 o'clock somewhere, Loki. Not for Loki, it's not. Not for Loki. By the time I get to the end of the day, I'll be like, how's everybody doing? We don't drink. It's not. No.
I will say
this
that
is just water, by the way.
I will say that last weekend, Loki only had 1 drink that I saw, and I don't think he finished that one.
Nope. I drank half of it and I was done. Nope.
No, Dave Bob, he tipped a few back.
I sometimes on Friday, can't day drink when the Friday night shows come up. That's true. I will have probably 1 or 2 drinks. The problem with the drink at the convention was it was like 90% Crown whiskey, 10% Coke. It's like, oh, we'll just fill it up with whiskey and then we'll give it a dash of Coke. Loki doesn't drink like that. Loki appreciates that you wasted that much alcohol on my drink, but I don't drink like that. So I'm very, very careful. I am a diabetic, so I have to be kind of careful. So one drink for me will be like 5 for most people. Get yourself a tall glass of Romulan ale. You know, I do have the Romulan ale energy drink. I've never opened it. It's probably extremely out of date. I think I've had it for like 6 or 7 years. Back when they sold the Romulan ale energy drink. But you can make that into what is called a phase cloak. You mix that with blue pineapple rum and what's that really strong ambrosia, and it's called a Romulan phase cloak because you can just walk through anything. You can walk through walls. Yeah,
you just got to know it's green.
It's green. It's green. Oh my god. Oh my God. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming on this morning. It's been an absolute hoot. Do either one of you have anything coming up that you would like to share with us? Before that, though, Dean Krantz with a member chat who's been a member for 8 months and is a warrior of Asgard. It is never too early for bourbon and cigars. That is the start of a great day in Nicaragua. All right.
Very good.
And yes, absinthe. That's what it is. Absinthe. I call it ambrosia. I call it ambrosia because that's what, I don't know why I've always called it ambrosia.
You need some Starry and brandy.
It's absinthe. It's absinthe mixed with the Romulan ale energy drink and blue Caraco rum or whatever that stuff is.
Good.
And it's called a Romulan phase cloak. Yeah, because you can just phase through anything. You're just like, la, 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 I'm floating.
Maybe that's what you need to drink for watching Picard.
Oh, my God. Or just not watch it. Just not watch it. I'm not. I told Canuck yesterday. I said I'm not doing this again. I said I love you. I'll do whatever. I love you, brother. I'll do whatever I can to help out, and I'll come back on. But I'm not doing this again. I'm not watching season 3 of Picard. I am not watching any more Star Trek. Not until they fix this shit. They need to fix it. They really do. They need to get rid of these people. Get rid of bad reboot and get them out of there because these shows suck.
When does Kurtzman's contract end? It got renewed, didn't it?
The 14th Doctor, Will Wheaton. The 14th. Starry posted that too. When I saw that you posted that, I was like, ah ha ha.
Shut up, Wesley.
Oh, just no wonder he was supporting the show. Because he couldn't.
I'm the Time Lord. I'm the Time Lord of Star Trek.
That's basically what it was.
And I'm sitting here going, oh, shut up, Wesley. I once told a joke and it unraveled 100 years of history. You cheeky fuck.
So God, I just like the articles that are propping this up. Will Wheaton's shocking return in Picard finale, like anybody cares. That's the best you could do.
Oh.
No.
Chris Burgess says Starry nailed Star Trek Picard with her tweet comparing Agnes Dorado to Sontaran. And even the Sontaran was thinking, oh, hell no.
That just was so awful.
I'm sorry. I could not take her seriously. I'm not in any of it.
Well, the
the
thing about
little
it
kitty.
is,
I've got a kitty cat AI. No, bitch. No, you don't.
You knew that. I mean, it was telegraphed from the very first freaking episode, just about that was going to be her. I mean, everybody knew that was her. The Board Queen.
The Board Queen.
You don't mess with the Board Queen. Again, that's another iconic thing. They just cherry pick all these icons and we can do something with that.
And then you hear the music from First Contact. Dun, 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 dun. And you're like, oh.
Don't deserve to use that piece of music.
No, they don't. They absolutely don't. They absolutely don't. And they don't deserve to use those characters either. Oh, guys, we'll be back later tonight to talk of WandaVision. If you have seen WandaVision, oh my God, yeah, because it is the Wanda movie. If you want to come on and talk about the Wanda movie, because it's not Doctor Strange, it's the Scarlet Witch in the Multiverse of Madness. Message Mexican Iron Man, let him know. We'll see if we can get you on. But until then, thank you so much, Starry. Thank you, Dave Bob, for being here. Thank you all
for having us.
Yeah, it's been fun. I just feel sorry for the viewers that we've only covered one topic. But oh well, it needed to be said.
Oh well, the weekend review will just have to wait till next week.
That's right. That's right. Have a great day, everyone. Be great. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.